I forgot about that. Willie, Romy, Luz? What's else to add, right? I was going to ask you, why did the Hats want to place Harry, or thought about placing Harry on Slytherin at the beginning? Because he did, and he said, "Hey, Slytherin's going to be good for you. Why not? Why not Slytherin?"
I think maybe have very strong opinions, but I'm not gonna say them.
Maybe because the Hat already knew that he was sharing some similarities with Lord Voldemort, and he could be a great wizard in that house. But he didn't want to become maybe his mother's enemy. So probably because of that, he made that decision not to step in the dark side, let's say, and become a dark wizard.
Not to be tempted by power. Because Slytherin is all about power, about making someone great. Disregarding
pride,
of what
cunning.
Yes.
The Slytherin value: pride, ambition, and cunning.
Pride, ambition, cunning.
And cunning, yeah. Which I don't really understand, but I think it's like clever or
cunning. Yeah. It basically means to be clever, like you said, to do whatever it takes.
Exactly. Clever, but not in a very positive way.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And also the Sorting Hat was curious because we suppose that we remind the founder's idea of the houses. But if you go deep down, the three friends, they possess different characteristics. So we have Hermione for Ravenclaw and Ron for Hufflepuff. So they have like the characteristic of different houses, but also their own opinions counted. So maybe the Sorting Hat change or has to modify or adapt through time. Because when Draco goes to a Sorting Hat, he says Slytherin directly because he has no more than the original characteristics. Maybe these three guys, they possess more than the houses. Maybe that's why the opinion counted more, but they were like stronger, let's say, on that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Herman. They had like a richer personalities, or even
yes.
Yeah. They were strong characters. They were strong characters. They were not just, like you said, not just ambitious like Draco could be, or I don't know, whatever other characteristic the others had. Very good.
Well, loyal, the
Hufflepuffs. Oh yes, loyalty. Yeah. I was trying to remember the other ones.
Maybe and just maybe.
I don't want this to get out of our hands.
Let's make a debate. Let's make a debate. No, that's fine.
no, not about that. Not about that. Luz, Luciana.
Wondering something else. What if this is an idea, right?
Okay.
If we Harry chose Gryffindor, right? And then what if he went to Slytherin, and then, because I think that everything, like the houses and his partners, I can remember, his friends and everything, conditioned him for certain choices. For example, when he was given the wand, I don't know how it's in English, the wand, powerful one. La varita es agua.
Elder wand.
Well, that one. And the stone, and the other, the cape. What if he was the what?
The cloak, you mean?
Yes. I don't know the names in English.
No, it's all right. I was just checking.
If he was a Slytherin, maybe he could have chosen other ways for that, because he chose not to be as powerful as he could be. but that's in other movies. I don't know. I was divagando.
And why not? Why wouldn't he want to be as powerful as he could be, Luz? Why not?
But he chose not to be.
Yeah. Why? Why wouldn't he want to be as powerful as he could be? Why would he reject this possibility? What's wrong with power?
I don't know. Maybe all he knew about power was bad. Was wrong.
Yes.
For me, he's saying no to the idea of being bad, not to be a Slytherin, because he didn't know what that meant at that time. So he said, I don't want to be bad according to what I have heard. But power, he didn't know what power is. So
I wasn't talking about the first movies. That's why I was like wondering in my imagination, maybe. But yeah, I think the same. He chose not to be bad, so he chose to be brave.
To be brave,
yes.
Be brave.
I also think regarding the choice of Slytherin, not that he says to Hat.
Yeah.
Or he says not Slytherin, I think. The school also has this preconceived notion that Slytherin bad because and I'm leaving towards the 7th year, they send all the Slytherin kids to the dungeons for the Hogwarts fight.
It's true.
And that's like, I'm sure some Slytherins wanted to fight against the Dark Lord. Some maybe not, but some, yeah. So the school has also this notion that keeps on transmitting, I suppose, throughout the years.
Right.
Actually, Death Eaters are all from Slytherin, and they are all bad.
No, they're not all from Slytherin.
No?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, they're Gryffindors, they're Hufflepuffs. I don't remember the name, but I'm sure there are Gryffindors, Hufflepuffs, and Ravenclaw as well.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
And I'm going to argue on that because I do not remember that well. I will take your word for it, Julie. I trust you. All right, very well. Let's on to our next question. We're still on the first movie, on this first year of the guys at Hogwarts. And these three guys, these three characters, these three, well, nobodies at the beginning, became really important. How important are Ron and Hermione to Harry? Are they responsible for making him break the rules, which seems to be, and we get to see that on the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, like the characteristic, the most outstanding quality that Harry Potter has to break the rules. How important are Ron and Hermione on this? Romy, go on. Be the first this time. Break the ice.
Yeah, I can do it. I think that they are very important because they provide Harry qualities he doesn't have, maybe. Because, I mean, Ron is fun to be around, and also he's very supportive of all the breaking rules they do. And also, I think Hermione provides the intelligence to the three of them. So I think Harry himself is very intelligent too. Yes, and he's a big decision maker all along the series. But when I think they somehow help each other with different things. And I don't think they are responsible for making Harry breaking the rules. I think that they all act a bit, yeah.
It's like they just say, well, maybe, okay, that's it. I'm breaking the rules. That Harry needs just one wink or something to kind of finally do what he was planning to do anyway. He was going to break the rules anyway. Like, I agree with you, Romy. But
I think it might be possible that it's something that has to do with his, I'm not sure the pronunciation is genes. Because he's constantly told that he's just like his father, not only by his name, but that his father was also like him, that he was constantly breaking the rules. So I'm not sure. I think he had that in him. Maybe.
So I believe that sometimes it's our parents' influence on us is, I mean, especially our father's influence on us, is quite telling. You know, if they are this way, some people go on the very opposite direction. Some people go on the very same direction. Some people try to do as much as they can to be different from them, but they remain being the same. You know, so
yes,
our parents always have. It's really complicated, and it will obviously depend on your personality and your temper and your family and your childhood and your school and whatever. So, but yeah, I get what you mean. His father was a big mirror.
But there is another factor also that I think that I'm not sure if Harry breaks the rules like his father. His father used to break the rules because he was the. I'm not sure if we can say the bad guy, but he was like I don't know, the leader of this group. But Harry had purposes. I mean, there was something greater going on. I mean, he was constantly fighting against Voldemort. I mean, it was not the same thing. I mean, maybe the situation led him to constantly breaking the rules. I don't know.
Yeah, Harry seemed to be more more altruistic than his dad, right? His dad seemed to be breaking the rules on his own benefit, or at least on his own group's benefits. Harry seems to be breaking the rules for a greater purpose, like you were saying.
Yes.
Julie.
No, so for the question of are they responsible for making him break the rules, I'm obviously going to say no, because they all break the rules in different ways in different points. Like in the second film, Hermione goes into the forbidden section of the library, and that's where she gets paralyzed by the what was the name of the basilisk. And Ron, I don't remember a specific moment Ron breaks the rules, but he's always willing to break the rules with them.
At one point, when they were having
the flying car, maybe.
Oh yes,
Yeah. There's a big one.
Yes, obviously. I don't know how that slipped my mind. But they're Harry's found family, like Ron and Hermione. They're like they're family. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the first time he could finally enjoy of a family, because obviously he did have one that he was very, very, very young. So this was his first real family. Yeah. Germán?
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. I think that the three of them, they complement each other, you know, they complement one another in that way. So yes. And for breaking the rules, no, I agree with the circumstance. But not because he was forced or whatever. We can see from all the movies, all the books, that at the end of the book number 6, 7, we start having like the three of them, they possess the same characteristic. At the beginning, there are three different, but at the end of the story, the three of them possess, they share the same characteristic. So yes, I agree with that.
There is like this symbiotic thing going on between them, like they become the three of them.
Hermione surprises when Ron can think as she thinks, you know. So he say, "Why? Who are you?" I mean, and well, it is because of friendship, influence, or whatever. But yes, at the end of the day, yes.
I was thinking, Julia, of another moment, of another instance in which Ron was very willing to break the rules. That it was the time when exams were coming, and he said, Hermione is questioning them for not, taking the time to study, and Ron said, "Well, we're going just to copy off of you." What's the problem? I'm going to, I'm going to look at your notes. Anyway, fine. let's pass on to our second year, in which the boys and the girls get a little bit older. And something special happens from the very beginning. Yes, everything seems to be going up. I mean, to be more difficult than it had already been for Harry Potter. But from the very beginning, I mean, his life with the Dursleys remained being sad or difficult. But then this Dobby character appears and keeps on making things even worse. But apart from that, why did they in particular, Hagrid, Draco, and Harry, suffer from prejudice in this second film? What do you have to say about this? Why did they suffer prejudice? This is not such a straightforward question as the other one, so I understand that you're taking the time to reflect on it.
I think that Hagrid suffered because of the spiders. He was like judged because he liked the strange beasts or animals. I don't know, magical creatures. Yeah. I can't remember how Draco and Harry. Well, Harry, yes. But I don't remember what happened to Draco in this movie.
What about Draco? Yes.
Draco. Sorry.
No. It's okay.
Sorry about the pronunciation today.
No, Luz, don't worry about it. It's just a name. Don't worry about it. Julie, Romy?
I can't remember exactly what happened to Draco, but I think we start seeing him as a racist in the wizarding world, let's call it that way, because he hates Matlock, right? So I think that's why the prejudice here for Draco, but I can't remember the other characters.
What you said is right. He had these ideas, he had these ideas. And people...
No, I remember how Harry suffered from prejudice here because everybody found out that he could speak parcel tongue. So so they automatically label him as instantly. They label him as, I don't know, the evil. Yes, he suffered from that because it was not his fault that he could speak to the snakes. I mean, he didn't even know that he was something that was considered as evil. As bad. I don't know.
The picture I even included here for Harry is the time that he's speaking to the snake for the first time.
I was going to ask if the picture was put in purpose there.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was a subtle detail from me. Thank you. What about Draco, Julie? Were you going to speak about that?
Yes. Draco is believed to be the heir of Slytherin, and that's why everyone's like, "Oh, Draco, he has a long line of Slytherins." He also boasts about it without knowing. So he's like, "Oh, I might be the heir of Slytherin," and some people start kind of rejecting him a little bit. Not that much. He doesn't suffer that much.
No,
but he suffers a little.
People had that idea, yes, and obviously he would be very proud. Yeah.
I think he likes being feared.
Yes, it's like, beware of me. I might be the heir. Voldemort's heir, yeah. Germán?
Yes, I don't know in what place we have Hagrid in here, but maybe we can say that the prejudice is about, I don't know, what people think about him, to be uneducated or maybe to be tough in that way, that he can be like responsible for something very, very dangerous, because he was like the first option in that case. He was the only accused person inside the school, because they are not going to accuse a boy. In fact, they thought about that, but Dumbledore says to Harry, well, no, we don't believe it is you. So maybe just because of the antecedent that we have about Hagrid, he suffered from that. from the
And because
past.
of his, I think that his size is not a minor detail. I mean, not here, but later on in the series, we can see that he's not considered as another human. Actually, Ron is very yes, he has some kind of prejudice against him.
Yes.
Because he was seen as a semi-giant, but not here in this book, I think.
I do not remember about the book in particular, but I do remember keeping this question in my mind from the first time I read the book. I mean, from what happened with Hagrid in the past, this thing with what's his name? I forgot. What happened with the spiders? Tom Riddle,
Aragog?
right?
Tom Riddle.
Right, but he was accused of it and he was blamed for it. My question was always, I mean, why didn't he speak for himself? Why didn't he say, okay, I'm not the one who did it. I'm not the guy. He never stood up for that. And he just accepted the blame. He just took the blame, and well, that's the way we have.
Well, because we don't really know what happens in that moment still today, because we don't know who was the responsible for the spider, because apparently it was Newt Scamander, but we are not sure about that. So there are some details about the stories, but maybe he was protecting a friend. So
I think Hagrid took the blame. I don't remember the name of the spider, but I think he took the blame.
Aragog.
He loved Aragog, yes, thank you.
Aragog, yeah.
Because he loved the animals so much, and he was willing to get expelled from school in that time and having to leave the grounds in the second year, because he didn't want the spiders to get hurt.
Yes, I
That
agree.
could be.
I was thinking the same thing. Yes.
And also, it
That
was
could
not
be.
an issue for him to be expelled because he was like uneducated at that time. He was not doing well at school. So he said, I prefer me to leave and not other person that can be with another purposes. And he's under the protection of Dumbledore, so he knew that he was not going to be alone, maybe. That's
You
why.
know, very, very good arguments, guys. I like this conversation a lot. Very good with all the Potterheads we have. I was actually, when I was preparing the presentation, I came across this information about the spiders, in particular the spider scene, the Aragog scene. It's a scene that even on this day, Ron Weasley's actor, what's his name? I cannot remember, but he actually, okay, that one. He actually has arachnophobia, and the scene in which he looks really frightened by the spiders, it was completely real. And he hasn't even watched this scene from the movie. He has always skipped it because he cannot stand the view of the spiders. Anyway, just fun fact for you. Here we go. Next question, kind of related to the previous one. We have a kind of political or social class fight between Lucius and Mr. Weasley, Mr. Malfoy and Mr. Weasley. Well, I kind of give it away when I said political or social class, but what are they fighting about? And why is this fight, why is this the topic for what they're fighting about important for the Harry Potter's universe, so to speak?
Maybe because Arthur loved muggles and Lucius hated them.
Yes.
Like really hated them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're both.
Yes.
No, finish, Luke.
No, that Arthur collected artifacts, Muggle artifacts, and the other one wants to kill them all. So.
Yes. Yes, we get to see that. We get to see that one of the very first scenes, how Lucius is trying to get rid of his artifacts that might be considered dangerous because there seemed to be some kind of persecution, and he blames Weasley's minister for that, Weasley's office for that. Yes, Julie.
No, they're just an observation. They're both pure lines. Like
Yes.
the Malfoys and the Weasleys are all
Yeah.
pure blood, and they have been for many, many years. But the Weasleys do not have the prejudice against the Muggles that the Malfoys do.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really relevant point. We get to see how two families with such a relevant lineage have a very different view on Muggles, on the Muggle business. Romy.
Yeah, I agree with all of you. I think that Arthur is fascinated by Muggle artifacts, and I think it's quite funny when we see in one of the movies, I can't remember which one, when he asks Harry about the use of the rubber duck. He wants
It's
to
this one, the second one.
Yes, in the second one, right? And he's fascinated. So I think that he somehow wants to build a bridge between the Muggle world and the Wizarding world, and trying to understand each other, right? And well, obviously Lucius Malfoy wants to end all the, let's say, the Muggle war, and also the Half-Blood people, right, in this war.
Yeah, Weasley is a pacifist. He's trying to be the connection, the link between both worlds, while Lucius wants to eliminate them. And that's the word, elimination, you know, something like that. Or rather,
Domination also.
the domination, right. The character was portrayed like this for the film, although J.K. Rowling doesn't speak of his long hair or his walking stick. But apparently he was portrayed like this, especially for the film, because he would look more, I don't know, extravagant, I suppose, apart from being a racist, obviously. Carmen, anything you would like to add?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Even though they have some similarities, one belongs to the aristocracy, and the other, well, it has different purposes in life, not even about social status. You're talking about here just different conception of how to use magic in this way, or how to treat people, because it's not that he's mistreating muggles, for example, Malfoy, but also he mistreats any person he considers under his line. So it's like it is them and that's it, because it's the family. Even though they are, both of them, they are fathers, they choose also the different methods to bring up their children. So yes, they influence the world, but from two different ways. Totally.
That's a very good point, how they behave as parents, as fathers. Draco doesn't even seem to love his father. I mean, he does, well, Draco is rather special, but he seems to respect, probably fear his father, but he doesn't seem to like, okay, hello, daddy. No, I mean, they do not seem to have that kind of relationship.
Well, it's also the other way around. In the second movie, when Draco is being a seeker, playing Quidditch, when he's going to fall from the broomstick, Lucius Malfoy puts like a face as being disappointed, not worried. So he's saying, "Oh, look at the image and not what happens to you." So,
well,
no.
us Slytherin are special. What can I say? That's the way we are.
Yes. And he's so proud even to be a Slytherin. That's why the walking stick, you know, because the walking stick for me is a symbol of power. Because the fangs of the snake, of the top of it, they are really sharp. So he can harm you without the wand, if he wants. So this is very, very specific. And you know that the merchandising about the walking stick, the fangs of the snake are really sharp. I have it, and I have it from the thematic park, and it is really sharp. So if you are not conscious about that, you can hurt your fingers. So it's quite dangerous. Yeah.
How on earth are they selling that? Well, anyway, that's good merchandise. Anyway, realistic for sure. Realistic for sure.
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys. We got two more questions to round it off. Catherine Lockhart. I mean, a rather special character. I totally hated this guy when I first read the book. And why? I mean, you tell me, how is he relevant in this second film? Why does his presence seems to, make Harry's life even more in danger than it was before? Why? What about Gilderoy? His favorite color is light.
Because he's incompetent and he can't teach Harry anything at all. So he has no way of defending. Like when they stage the duel and they're gonna teach the kids to duel, and he just can't, and they're defenseless against any threat.
Yeah, he's meant to teach them how to defend themselves, and he just puts them in danger for no reason. Yeah.
Yes, and in the Quidditch scene, instead of healing
Mhm.
him as he was supposed to do, he makes it even worse.
Yeah, when Harry says, "No, not you," I say,
Yes.
"Please don't hurt me."
Please.
Everyone
Get-
else but you. Yes.
Can't lock her away from me. Yeah, he seems to be a really bad wizard. I mean, it's not just a selfish character or vain. I mean, he just seems to be actually really bad. And well,
Yes.
but his fame is something that makes
Yes, but
him
it's a
stand
fake.
out.
He was very shallow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very shallow, completely shallow character. Nothing else apart from being shallow, extravagant. So yeah, I mean the rest of things, the other things I said. Rami, Luz, anything else you would like to add about Gilderoy? Do you like him? This actor, his name again? I'm really bad with names today.
Kenneth Branagh.
Branagh,
Kenneth
right?
Kenneth Branagh, right?
Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh.
Emma
Yes.
Thompson's ex-husband.
Yes.
That's how I call.
He was the husband of Silly Trelawney.
Okay.
Yes,
All
Emma
right.
Thompson.
Yes.
Emma
He's
Thompson.
is he the one in Big Fish? I don't know if it's like
No,
No,
that's
that's
Single
Ewan
McGregor.
McGregor.
No.
Either
Ah.
one.
But Kenneth Branagh was very popular back in the 90s for being the one who would always take Shakespeare's plays into movies. He has portrayed
Now-
every Shakespeare character.
Now he's doing Hercule Poirot in all his movies.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Yes.
He was so good in the names.
Right.
Yes,
can't remember.
Orion's. That one, Orion Express, the Orion Express movie, so good. I haven't watched the second one, but I'm sure it's good.
Don't watch
He's
it.
wonderful.
Yes.
No, it's
Both of them are good.
It's not good. Judy?
Yes, both of them.
I didn't like it, the second one. I felt like it was, I mean, it's not the movie we're supposed to talk about, but I felt like it wasn't a good portrayal of Agatha Christie, because I read the book and I just, it wasn't my favorite adaptation.
Not even the first one.
Yes, the first one, yes, but the
Oh.
Death on the Nile, I didn't find it as good.
All right. Herman liked it. I haven't read the books.
Yeah, but repetitive because both movies seems to be the same, but different background, different scene, But it's the same procedure.
Okay, all right. I'm going to watch it. Anyway, goodbye, Gilderoy. We have one more question, but it is about to Zoom is going to let us out. So I'm going to stop the meeting. I'm going to rejoin for the last question and for our goodbye, because we're getting to the end of it. Be right back, same link.